Hello, dear learners. This is slangslang.com, your free English language class.
Hello, viewers. So, you are here to learn tenses. Great, right place. Let's learn it. Present indefinite is base or S form. Past indefinite is past form. Future is will or shall. Continuous is be and ing form. Perfect is have and past participle form. That's all to start tenses with. I swear that's all. You're not convinced, huh? Okay, we'll talk more. This is langsang.com and I'm Hussein. Believe me, tenses are that simple. Look at this again. Present indefinite, base or S form. Past indefinite, past form. Future is will or shall. Continuous is be and ing form. And perfect is have plus past participle form. And it becomes even simpler if you know the verb forms. Unfortunately, for those who have learned the verb forms already, I have to uh, reproduce the verb forms necessary part, verb form lessons necessary part here, so that those who don't know the verb forms they should go through that. And if you have already learned the verb forms, you can skip 1 minute and 43 seconds. And for others who have to learn the verb forms, flashback the necessary part of the verb forms lesson. So, students, we have 6 forms of verb in English. For example, for the verb go, we have go, went, gone, going, goes, and to go. So, every verb can be used in 6 ways or forms, like forms of verb walk, and like forms of verb finish, forms of verb do. Some verb forms are easy or regular. They can be easily remembered because their past form and the past participle form are made by just adding the d or ed at the end of the verb. Because these verb forms are formed regularly in English, so they are also called regular verb forms. Others are irregular verb forms. Almost every English verb has 6 forms. There are special verbs. For example, verb be, which has special forms. Its base form is be. Its past form is, there are 2 past forms here, was, were. Its past participle form is been. Its ing form is being, that is fine, but the special part comes in the S form or the present form or the third person singular form. It has 3 forms here, and that is mr. Is mr are its present form exactly, or third person singular form, which falls in the S form. Okay, and the last form is to be. Now that we have learned the names of the 6 forms of verb, come back to our lesson tenses. Have a few seconds on this chart again. Now, can you fill out this chart from your memory? I give you 1 minute, or you can pause longer. And if you were not able to fill out this from your memory, pause it and try again. Have a go again. If you have learned this chart, you have made a great foundation of your English grammar learning. But let me explain it a little. This chart means that if there is a base or S form in a sentence or a clause, that is a present indefinite. Or if you want to make yourself the present indefinite, you will be using base form or S form of the verb. If you want to make past indefinite, you will be using only past form. If you want to make any future indefinite or continuous or perfect, you will be using will or shall. If you want to make a sentence continuous, whether it is present continuous or past continuous or future continuous, you will be using be and the ing form of the verb. If you want to make your sentence a perfect tense, means present perfect or past perfect or future perfect, you will be using the have and the past participle form. Notice there is be in capital, have in capital. It means you have to choose the form of the be. Means you have to choose. If it is present continuous, you will be using the present form of the be, is, am, or are. If it is past continuous, you will be using the past form of the verb of the be, that is was or were. If it is future continuous, you will be starting with will and then be and ing form. In the same way, if it is present perfect, you will be using the present form of the have, that is have or has. If it is past perfect, you will be using the past form of the have, that is had. And if it is future perfect, you will be using will and then the have, and then the past participle. So it means that if you are making a present indefinite, you will be using either the base form or the S form. Means you will be using either write or writes, kick or kicks, believe or believes, know or knows. If you want to make a past indefinite, you will be using only the past form. That means wrote, kicked, believed, knew. And if you are making any variety of future indefinite, future continuous, future perfect, if you are making any variety of future, you will be using will or shall. Of course, there are other ways of making future tense, but right now we are focusing only the beginner's lesson and we are starting with only will or shall. So if you are making a future tense, you will be using will or shall. That means you will be using shall be writing. Shall is future and be writing, be an ing form, that is continuous. So it is future continuous. Shall kick, future indefinite. You are using shall for future and you are using the base form. Then will believe. You are using will, so it is making future. And you are using will have known. So you are using will for future and have and past participle form for perfect. So you are making a future perfect. So in any variety of future, you will be using the will or shall. So in any variety of future, you are going to use will or shall. Means whether it is future continuous, perfect, or indefinite. If it is future, you are going to use will or shall. And in global English, believe me, there is no problem with will or shall. Means you can use either. You are using will or shall. You don't have to worry about which one is grammatically correct in global English. But if your exam system follows a British rule, British grammar rule strictly, then don't use will with I or we. They will kill your marks. So don't use will with I or we if they are following British grammar rule. Otherwise, it's fine. Now come back to continuous. In any continuous, whether it is present continuous, past continuous, or future continuous, you are going to use be and ing form. Be and ing form. Look at this. Is, am, are, was, were, be, been. You know these are the forms of be. These are the forms of be. You are using any of these and you are using the ing form. Is working, am thinking, are dancing, was traveling, were playing. So you are using be and ing form. And you see there, will be crying. So it is future continuous. It is future continuous, will be crying. He has been speaking is also a type of continuous. We will discuss that later. It is not in today's lecture. And use the have and past participle form for perfect. whatever perfect it is, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, you are going to use a variety of have and past participle form like this. For example, has worked, it is has is the form of have thought, have danced, had traveled, had is the past form of the have, so had and past participle form. So these are the varieties of have and their past participle form, verbs past participle form. So that makes a perfect tense. I'm again clearing the point that if these are all be and ing form, that makes a continuous, or if it is all have and past participle form, that makes a perfect, then how would we recognize that which one is present and which one is past and which one is future? We will recognize present, past, and future by their first auxiliary or helping verb, by their first auxiliary. Look at this. For example, at this chart, is, am, are, was, were are the first auxiliary here, and is, am, are is showing that they are present. Is, am, are, and ing form are present continuous. Was, were is past. So was ing form is a past continuous. And in the second last, there is will. Will is showing that it is a future. Will be an ing, that is future continuous. Okay, and look at this chart, and here has and worked, has and past participle form. So has is the present form of have, so this is a present perfect. Has, have are present form, so they are present perfect. Had is the past form, so it is past perfect. Had traveled. Had and the past participle form is the past perfect. And will have, will is making it a future. Have and past participle is making it perfect, so it is future perfect. Will have gone. There are choices to make. The choice between have and had. The choice between will and shall. Especially in present tense, there is a very important and frequent choice to make, and that is the choice between base form and S form. What to choose, have or has. What to write, or writes. What to write, kick or kicks. Select or selects. Which one to choose? It is very important choice, but we have already covered it in our last lesson, present tense video. And we will be making a little flashback of the necessary part of that, because it is very important choice to make, base form or S form, have or has. Where to use base form and where to use S form. In these examples, we have used base form and S form both. So where to use base form and where to use S form? Make it simple. S form, S for singular. S for singular. S form is used with all singular subjects except I and you. S form is used with all singular subjects in present tense except I and you. With all other subjects, we use the base form. Look at these examples again. Okay, the first sentence, I watch comedy shows. I don't take the S form, I take the base form. The second sentence, this cold freezes everything. This cold is singular subject, singular. This cold. So it is taking S form. You don't help them. I said that except for I and you, we use S form in singulars, and this is you. So you take the base form, do, not does. You is taking do, not does. She watches it all the day. She is singular, and it is taking S form. Every new member completes the training first. Every new member is singular. Every singular member. So it is taking the S form. So many people. So many people is plural. So it is not taking the S form, it is taking the base form. Look at these sentences again. Notice use of is and has with singular subject. Is the S form of be. So it comes with singular subject. We have already learned that S form comes with singular subject except I and you. So is comes also with singular subjects other than I and you. Has is also the S form of have. So it is with she because she is singular subject. I said use S form with singular subjects other than I and you. I did not use the term third person singular subject as it is used in most of the grammar books. I did not use that term only to make things simpler, easier, because it is just a beginner's lesson. Okay, you have learned how to make tenses. Use base or S form, that is present indefinite. Use past form, that is past indefinite. Use will or shall, that is future. Use be and ing, that is continuous. Use have and past participle, that is perfect. Perfect. Congratulations, you have learned how to make tenses. But how will you decide that which tense to make? Means almost all people who are learning here, we suppose that they are all non-native speakers. Means their first language is not English. So when they are speaking English or using English, they are translating it from their own language. They think a sentence in their own language and they are translating it. So how will you pick that this sentence in my language should be made present indefinite or past continuous or whatever? So how will you choose that? So we should look at this, that how to choose that. If you mean to say action is continued, you use continuous. If you mean to say action is completed, you use perfect. In all other cases, you use indefinite. I'm making a very big generalization, and it is very simple. It is very easy. Think again. If you mean to say an action is continued, if you mean to say an action is continued, that is a continuous. If you mean to say an action is completed, then it is perfect. And in all other cases, it is indefinite. For example, think the verb rain. Time is morning. If you mean to say that the rain continued in the morning, you will be using past continuous. Past continuous. You will be using past continuous and you will be saying it was raining. It was raining. Be and ing form was raining. Okay. If you don't mean to say, you don't want to emphasize the continuation of rain, just reporting what happened in the morning, then you will not be using continuous. You will be using past indefinite or simple past. That is, it rained in the morning. It rained in the morning. Yes, this is an important thing to keep in mind about past, especially past tense, especially past tense. Then when you are just reporting what happened without emphasizing the continuation, the time of continuation or the time of completion of that action, you use only past indefinite. When you are reporting what happened in the past without emphasizing the time of continuation or time of completion, you will be using only past indefinite. Let's come back to this. I have an example. Look at this pic. Let's decide what you want to say about them. If you say what they are doing now, means what is continued now, you will be using present continuous because you mean that action continued. You will be using present continuous. You are making they are fighting. Are fighting. Be and ing form is continuous. If you say what they had done before they got hurt, means what they have completed before any other thing, you use past perfect. They had fought. Had and fought. That is have and past participle form. So it is a perfect. And if you want to mention fighting as their present habit, then you will be making a present indefinite. Fighting as their present habit. So when you are making it not the continuation of action or not the completion of the action, but right now you are making it just a habit. So you are making it as present habit, so present indefinite. They always fight. Fight is the base form and that is present indefinite. If without emphasizing the continuation or completion of fighting, you are just reporting what happened, you will use past indefinite. They fought. Fought is the past form and it is past indefinite. I hope you have learned well enough how to fight. I mean, how to choose a tense and how to make a tense. Let's summarize it. We choose continuous when we mean action is continued. We choose perfect when we mean action is completed. Otherwise, we use indefinite. Like for routine, habit, general facts, or when reporting what happened without emphasizing continuation or completion of action, we use the indefinite tense. And there are some verbs which are not used in ing form or continuous form in certain meanings in English. So in your language, they may give a sense of continuation of action, but in English, we use indefinite tense for them. For example, the verbs love or like or look or belong, etc. This fourth point is new, but worry not. They are few verbs, and you will learn them by practice later. One example here. Look at this pic. How do they look like? They look angry, or happy, or sad. In your language, it might give you a continuous sense, and you may think it is right to say that they are looking angry. They are looking angry, but English people say they look angry. They don't use the form looking in this meaning. They use the form looking in other meaning, but they don't use the form looking in this meaning. Next, we are going to do a translation exercise from different languages to English language. So the next part of this video is different in different versions. For example, it will be different for Spanish speakers to that for speakers of French. And it doesn't matter how you word it in Hindi or in Chinese. It is more important what do you mean. In the next translation exercise, follow whatever you have learned here about English without following however you word it in your language. Zachiye, pa, Khuda Hafiz, adios, cheers, bye here.
Question number 1. Question number 2. Question number 3. Question number 4. Question number 5. Question number 6. Question number 7. Question number 8. Question number 9. Question number 10. Question number 11. Question number 12. Question number 13. Question number 14. Question number 15. Question number 16. Question number 17. Question number 18. Question number 19. Question number 20. Question number 21. Question number 22. Question number 23. Question number 24. Question number 25. Question number 26. Question number 27. Question number 28. Question number 29. Question number 30.
This is slangslang.com, your free English language class.